Jeep news, October 2023. Why are we only seeing 4xe on lots, and how much longer are we going to have to wait for our Jeep builds? Find out today from Dirt Road CRED. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's Jeep news is a little bit interesting, and it's kind of been tricky lately to find any Jeep news to talk about, but we know you guys love this segment, so we wanted to continue it today and just talk about some of the things that are going on in the industry. Now, it's a little bit unique because every morning either I'm driving to a local coffee shop or I'm going to run some errands, and I drive by our local dealership here. The only thing that catches my eye on the lot for 2024 is all the 4xe that are sitting there. I'm talking Willys 4xes, Rubicon 4xes, Grand Cherokee 4xes, anything with a blue tow hook and a charge port on the driver's hand side is exactly what I'm seeing. Now, it's a little bit interesting, especially for a small town here in Pennsylvania, to see so much electrification. And at first I was a bit confused. I'm going, what the heck is going on? Why is the dealer ordering so many of these 4xes when not that many people in our area, dare I would say, even have the plugs in their homes to actually charge these vehicles? And then I thought back, I did a little bit of research on the forums on Stellantis news, and I remember that just a few weeks or a few months ago they had talked about dealerships in, I think they were ZEV states or PZEV states, I forget what the exact name for it, but there's a certain amount of states in the United States that if a model of a vehicle is available in an electrified version, aka the Wrangler has the 4xe, Grand Cherokee has the 4xe, then the dealership can only order those as stocked units. At first I thought that was maybe just a rumor, like, oh yeah, whatever, they've been saying about this for all this time. But now seeing it at our local dealership, it's getting me a little bit concerned because that's, like I said, the only thing that we are seeing here locally is 4xes. And luckily for us, we partnered up with the dealership Dan Cummins down in Kentucky, and they're not one of those states, so they can order and get in whatever they want. And this does not apply, from what I'm understanding, to any factory orders. So if you go into any dealership in the country, you can still order a 392, you can order a 2-liter turbo, a 3.6. It's just applying to those in-stock units. But that's gonna cripple a little bit of the market, because if you walk into a dealership looking to buy an in-stock vehicle and you don't want the 4xe, well, it's almost too bad you're gonna have to order it. Now, with the 4xe though, I know we talk about it a lot. We were excited to hopefully see it with the Gladiator, which we never did, but I wanted to talk about some of my pros and cons on a 4xe, because obviously I've considered it. The 4xe doesn't do that well when it comes to the exact range of it, but there are a host of benefits that it does come with for the 2024. When it comes down to the pricing, so many different states and different dealerships are offering crazy incentives on the 4xes to not only get them off their lots, but because there are some federal rebates that could apply to you. Now, what I think that's kind of neat about that is if you live somewhere where you can drive pretty close to where you work, or you just need to commute locally and you have the ability to have a charger, this is a great option for you. You can take advantage of all those rebates, all the cost savings, plug it in every night, and maybe even perhaps go all electric when you're driving around town. Now, the biggest pro to that as well is that at the end of the day, it's still a Jeep. So if you buy the Willys trim, you're getting 33s, a rear locker, fully built axles. You buy the Rubicon, you're getting even more, but you still have a Jeep Wrangler underneath the hood. You just get a host of other perks, like being able to drive around completely quiet when off-roading and go in town locally and not have to use any of that gas. Now, some of the bigger cons. We don't see too many of those when we go out wheeling. We don't see too many of them driving around, and it's because it's a little bit too brand new, I think, for everyone to get a hold of. You're adding a few £100 below the rear seat, all the electrification components underneath the hood and the transmission, and for a lot of people, the range of, I think it's 25 or 26 miles. What is it, Ryan? Not even that much. On pure electric, for a lot of people, isn't worth that weight in the back of the Jeep. These Jeeps are heavy enough as they are, and then you load 4 guys into it, all your gear in the back, plus you've got a full-size 2 linebackers underneath the rear seat in a battery. It makes for a lot. And the other thing that I've been seeing too is that not many people are too fond of installing all the charging capabilities into their home. Depending on where you live, and if you can or can't install it yourself, you're talking a few $1,000s to get that charger to the corner of your garage to potentially save a few gallons of gas maybe a week. You really got to weigh out those pros and cons and do the Excel spreadsheet to see if that's actually going to turn valuable for you. So while there are pros, there are cons to the vehicle. What's my take on it? I think if I could get a Willys trim for less than like $40,000, maybe like a $35,000 4xe, put it around town, have some fun with it, and still be able to wheel it, I just might hop onto it. But until that happens, I'm going to need to see a little bit more range and maybe some more functionality of the new 4xes. Now, we did almost 20 miles when we off-roaded. We were actually taking a little bit of a tripometer between going back and forth to base, going as far out as we did when we went wheeling, which if you guys haven't, make sure to check out that video. We took Ryan's Jeep out and really pushed it, and then we have another video coming out with my Jeep and taking on some fun terrain out at AOAA. But until it can kind of fully go on that range for me, I've really got to see what that 4xe can do, because until that battery runs out, you're doing good. You're getting that hybrid MPG, but once that battery's out, now you've got all that extra weight to contend with in the back seat. But I want to hear about in the comments below. Talk about if you own a 4xe or why not you wouldn't pick one up, because we love to read those and they bring up some interesting conversations down below. But that leads us into the next thought, is how much longer are a lot of you guys going to have to wait for your Jeeps? That's been something that's really tricky, and I'm not sure how much longer this UAW strike is going to go. Well, guys, wanted to give kind of a quick update for part of this video. When we filmed it a few days ago, actually, Stellantis and the UAW and all the strikers had not come to an agreement. So we're continuously talking about, when is this kind of strike going to be over and when are these Jeeps going to continue to get built? Now, as of Saturday evening, we constantly been checking the forums, been checking the news articles. It looks like Stellantis has made a tentative agreement to actually follow in Ford's path and end the strike. We were just entering into week 7 of the strike, that's a long time to be on strike. So what kind of the things that I read, it looks like they're going to follow suit to what Ford did, which was actually a 25% increase in wages over a 4.5-year contract, as well as an initial 11% wage increase. So pretty big. It's not exactly what they had asked for. They had initially started with a 40% increase, 32-hour work week, and a heck of a lot of other things. So it's a little bit different than what they were asking for, but hopefully they can get these plants up and firing on all cylinders. I read actually on a Reuters article, it said close to 150,000 workers were striking right now between Ford, between GM, and all these other plants. That is a ton of workers. So I'm really hoping they can get back to work and start building our Jeeps, because people are really waiting for them. They're waiting for the GMs, for the Fords, for every vehicle that the plants have been shut down. So we're pretty excited to hear this, and hopefully it does come to light and it comes to fruition. Another thing that I did want to kind of focus on too in this was, how much longer do you guys think it's going to take to get this 7-week delay to kind of start producing vehicles again? Because I know people have had Jeeps on order for a while, and my personal opinion is that those have been getting pushed and pushed further back and back and back, and those that weren't even scheduled yet, so say they were even scheduled, there's a lot of time that was down. Even this 7 weeks, it caused a lot of pushback for all the vehicles that were already scheduled, that had already time frames, but then those that didn't even have time frames yet, they were planning those out for the future. So the ones that they had to stop and weren't able to actually produce, that's going to cause a pretty lengthy delay. My estimate, 7 weeks we've been going, it's almost 2 months. So this started, that we were at the end of October, that would have been kind of the end of August time frame this started. I'm expecting these Jeeps are going to start shipping out probably, if they can get them out by the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Now obviously priority of the vehicles is a big thing, so whichever Jeeps were furthest in the line, those are what's going to be kind of pushed to the front. But with that being said, kind of curious to see how long it's going to take. I want to hear about it in the comments. How long do you guys think it's going to take for the Jeeps that were kind of waiting in line? And then any fresh orders right now, they're going to be pushed back even further. It might work out because, well, it might not. I don't know. I keep thinking a little bit, because we're probably going to see the 2025 model year here soon in the springtime or something of that nature. So this is going to be a tricky next few months, but my prediction is Q1 of next year, a lot of these Jeeps are going to start to be delivered. On today's viewer rig of the video, we are checking out Lincoln's 2018 JL Rubicon, finished off in the beautiful mojito color. Now he's got a set of 37-inch Nitto trail grapplers, a Warn winch, muffler delete, super stock intake, and he said he's recently cut the bottom of the hood vents, quote unquote, to be functional. Really nice looking mojito here, and I can tell a couple other functional mods throughout the interior as far as some color match mojito accents. And honestly, that is probably one of Ryan and I's absolute favorite colors. There's a ton of flake on that Jeep, and I gotta say, I really just had a soft spot for it. Looks like he does take it out and enjoy it, and it's nice to see a mojito out in the wild with some red accents too. I haven't seen all that before, but that looks pretty cool with this color. So Lincoln, thank you so much for submitting your Jeep. If you guys want to have a chance at your Jeep being featured, be sure to send us an email or hit us up through Instagram. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you watching this video. This has been a fun one to kind of talk about some of the topics that are latest and greatest in the Jeep news. Now, off topic, we've got a lot of exciting stuff going on, both on and off camera, but a lot of it's off camera right now. We have a huge stockpile of parts that we're waiting to install on both Ryan's Jeep and my Wrangler, as well as the shop is this close to being completed. We've working a lot, and honestly, I should say Jordan, our great friend, and Dad, everyone's been helping out with the shop, and they've been kind of putting in a lot of legwork while we've been filming and wheeling and doing all that. But we are so excited to have that completed, because it should be done here in the next few weeks, right before the cold season starts. So if you guys guys have any ideas on how we should decorate the shop, what you want to see us put in there, and also what you want us to do over the winter season, drop those comments below. We love to read them, and we really like to be able to help you guys out as well. So we work with a lot of local and small companies. If you guys have a good idea, or you're in the business of providing anything you think we might use, drop a comment down below or reach out through the website. You can directly contact us. Now, I want to also see, what should we install next on Ryan's Jeep? Drop that down below, because as you saw in the last wheeling video, it was a little bit of scraping, a little bit of scratching close to the ground. So we've got to obviously change a few things up. We've got a great group of brand partners, so I think we'll be able to do that pretty quick. Until next time, though, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe. We love having all of you here. Drop a comment below and let's chat. My name's Matt with Dirt Road CRED, and I want you to get out there and earn yours.